Hi everyone, welcome back to our final tip of our Finding Your Female Ancestor series. I'm Shanna, and I've been sharing resources on how to find the women of your family tree during Women's History Month this March. Let's get started with our final tip. So our fourth tip is to try to find records that were created by your female ancestor. The book, A Genealogist's Guide to Discovering Your Female Ancestors, Special Strategies for Uncovering Hard-to-Find Information About Your Female Lineage, recommends trying to find resources that were created by the women of your family tree. This book gives a lot of great tips on types of records that have been created by women, as well as where to find them. And this book is available to view in the South Carolina room. But today I'm going to talk to you about just a few types of examples that could be created by your female ancestors. First off, there's artifacts and heirlooms. These can be many different types of things, such as scrapbooks. Even community cookbooks could be an example. You may not think of that first off as a place to look, but community cookbooks can oftentimes include information about a female ancestor, such as her name, where she lived, and even some information about her. A type of heirloom example that you might find could be a quilt. Signature quilts were quilts that contained the signatures from friends and family, either inked or embroidered on quilt blocks. Here's an example of a signature quilt with the names embroidered on the quilt blocks. This quilt is listed on quiltindex.org, which is an open access digital repository of thousands of images, stories, and information about quilts and their makers. And this is just one example of a database for heirlooms. Other types of records that can be created by women are diaries and journals, as well as oral histories, letters, and postcards. The image on this slide is an example of a Civil War era letter from the Greenville County Library System's digital collection. Do you know how to access this collection? Let me walk you through the steps. From the library's website, greenvillelibrary.org, navigate to the Learning and Research tab at the top of the page. Under the Genealogy and Local History section, go down to the bottom and click on View Historic Images. This will take you to the library's digital collection. This collection includes items from the South Carolina Room's archive, local organizations, and private collections, which showcase the history of Greenville and the upstate. If you haven't had a chance yet to check out our digital collection, please take a look. You can find some of the types of examples I mentioned, such as letters, postcards, and even some oral histories in the library's digital collection, along with many more photos with members from organizations, schools, and more. Another type of record example is to look for records that have been added into family Bibles. Many families often added births, marriages, and deaths of family members in the family Bible. Family Search also has a wiki page for United States Bible Records resources. Here's listed several online databases where you can find additional Bible records. So we've already talked about a few places where you can find records created by women, but I also wanted to mention to be sure to check your local library or archive. Many libraries and archives will have family or biographical files. Here in the South Carolina room, we have a large collection of these types of files. So if you haven't contacted your local library yet, be sure to reach out because there could be information that they have on your ancestors. Also, I showed you previously the library's digital collections. Many libraries and archives across the country have digital collections. So be sure to explore the local library, archive, historical society, or even university of the area where your ancestors lived to see if they have a digital collection. So there may be materials there pertaining to your family. And last but not least, if you haven't already talked with your family members, ask them if they have any materials on your female ancestor. See if they have scrapbooks or documents, or even just talk with them about the family and see if they have information that they can share with you. So since this is our last session for our Finding Your Female Ancestor series, let's recap what we've learned. In our first video, our first tip was to search for name variations, including nicknames as well as all the possible names that your female ancestor had during their lifetime. For tip 2, we focused on finding the maiden name. We discussed how to find vital records and what information can be found on these types of records. For tip 3, we talked about how to take a closer look at census records, paying particular attention to each member of the household listed on the census record, and we also talked about census mortality schedules. And of course, today's tip 4, was to find records created by her. If you haven't had a chance to view our previous tips, they are located on the library's YouTube channel under the History and Genealogy playlist. And once again, if you're interested in attending future virtual events, please check out our website and sign up for our e-newsletter. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So that concludes our Finding Your Female Ancestor series. These were just a few tips on how to find the women of your family tree, and I've enjoyed doing this course. I hope you all have enjoyed it as well, and that these tips have been helpful to you. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.